So the Daily Mail is dubbing the four the cowboys, if you know what I mean. It says Americans who were killed in Mexico border kidnapped was jailed in 2015 for distribution, while the other three have a lengthy rap sheet when it comes to narcotics. Now, a disclaimer, I don't think that any person who goes through an ordeal like these people went through should have their rap sheets brought up, but I think that there's something about their prior history that's going to relate closely to this story, and so that's the only reason why we're discussing it. So in the article, they actually published the longest bit on Latavia. It says that the survivor, Latavia, was indicted on March 3rd of 2016 for 5 counts of unlawful acts toward a child and her daughter, who happened to be 8 years old at the time. If you continue to see stories flip-flopping saying that she's a mother of 5 or a mother of 6, I think it has something to do with this charge, because the daughter, who was 8 years old at the time, was found with methamphetamines, cannabinoids, and native THC in her system. And the Department of Child and Family Services found that because they were suspicious about something, and they actually took a sample of her hair. The state stated that the child tested positive for all of these different types of substances, and that is what brought the 5 counts to Washington. Now, Woodward, one of the victims who had passed away in this ambush, was actually charged in 2015 for distributing and manufacturing amphetamines. Now, the other 2 victims in this ambush, the one who passed away and Eric Williams, who survived, they had rap sheets when it came to drugs, but it was more for distribution of them, and it was small levels compared to these 2.
Hey folks, so I just got out of school. I got home, taking off my clothes, and I'm going to take a minute to respond to this before I go back to work. Now, I already know people are going to have their opinions about what I'm about to say, but don't lose sight and don't get caught up in all the extra. Pay attention and focus on the point of what I'm about to say, okay? Because I already know the ignorant people, they about to start talking mess. I don't ever mind being the villain if I have to be, because I always say the truth and I always say what's honest, and at the end of the day, I do it from a good place, okay? Even if you don't understand me or whatever. Check this out. For those of you that are up to date on the news in the U.S. and are watching what happened to the 4 people that traveled to Mexico and all that other stuff, I need to say a few things. Number 1, stop sending me the story. Number 2, stop being sheep. I said it. A lot of y'all are sheep. A lot of y'all have herd mentality. You follow the crowd. You follow the 174,000 followers, although 25,000 of them are from India. You follow what people are doing. You follow. You just listen. You just take it and run. Yo, open your mind. So 4 people got in a car and drove to Mexico. Some of them got killed. Some of them didn't get killed. And one of them that was in the car supposedly was going to Mexico to get a tummy tuck. Y'all know that right now what's hitting crazy ratings, right? It's talking about plastic surgery in the media, about all the people that, God bless their soul, have passed away. Because why? Because it's giving people something to talk about. And it's a distraction from politics, especially if it's something that happened internationally. It's more focus on Mexico with Shanquella Robinson and the last case that happened and now this. Away from the states, away from our politics, away from corruption. And don't forget that people tune in like crazy to shows like Botched. They tune in to shows that talk about these deaths, My Killer Body, all this stuff. Because this is what's getting ratings. Y'all, if they would have wrote a story and said 4 people in a vehicle got raided by a cartel, it wouldn't have gotten as much blast as it's getting now. All because supposedly Shorty went to Mexico to have a tummy tuck. Supposedly. And so now y'all are over here sending me this footage. I think, God bless the people that were injured. God bless the people that were hurt, regardless to what decision they made and to why they were there. But I need you to understand that got nothing to do with plastic surgery. It has nothing to do with the safety of the Mexico clinic or the doctor. It has nothing to do with the community where the clinics and the recovery homes are. It has nothing to do with none of that. It has to do with a bunch of people that drove down there for whatever their reasons were. 3 men in a vehicle decided to go down with homegirl to get a tummy tuck for 2 weeks. It don't sound right. I'm a recovery home owner. I'm a surgery coordinator. I'm not new on the block. Boyfriends might come, but the crew ain't coming. You understand what I'm saying? And then if you're part of the crew and you're coming and you're going to be gone from home for 2 weeks or whatever my recovery time is, a week, 2 weeks, you're going out of the country, whatever it is, shouldn't your wife know? So one of the people who was in the car, their wife had no idea what the fuck was going on. She didn't even know that he was leaving the country. He supposedly was going with 2 friends to help 2 friends do something, but no conversation about that. And not only that, they all have huge drug records and rap sheets. And again, not to say that they were going to specifically do something for that or to do something for drugs, but it's not out of the frame of possibility with their record.
Al, what do you think about this story?
You know what, Claudia, I got to be honest with you. Well, let me start over. First, condolences to the family of the deceased victims here. That's just totally sad. Everything about this incident screams unfortunate, as well as unavoidable, if you want my opinion. However, something in my gut is telling me that there's something else going on here because there's so many layers to the story. Number one, the young man that they apprehended, whatever you said his name was, they're only charging him with kidnap. I don't understand. Why did you arrest someone and charge them for kidnapping, but not for murder? So that's number one. Number two, everything from the car accident to the president of Mexico's original statement saying that they were there purchasing medication to, the doctor's office not returning their calls about the tummy tuck story to the possible mix up of 4 Americans with Haitian drug people. Is something in the milk just not clean here? And I can't wait to see how this story really starts to unveil, because I don't know too many people that are going to drive from South Carolina to this no-name city in Mexico to get a tummy tuck.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, yeah, I agree.
To Al's point, the driving from anywhere in the U.S. to Mexico is really giving I was moving bricks tease. I really hope they weren't. But in the event, guys, and I don't ever want to talk negatively of a whole country, but there are certain parts of all countries when you go out of the country that you got to be careful of. I'll never forget when me and some friends went to Tulum a few years back. We're literally getting ready to go on our excursions. We're going through the city, and there are men in military gear with guns and gas masks on. And I'm like, where the hell are we that their police are so militarized like this? And so, guys, just cautionary tale, when you go places like this, if you don't know nobody, stay your ass on the resort, stay your ass in the tourist area, and do not be full out line all throughout these people's streets trying to do whatever if you don't have an escort from that city to escort you around. But to Al's point, it do sound like somebody was up to no good.